Nuclear Safety Inspector. From season 1 onward, Homer's real job, if you can call it that, is manning the safety panel in Sector 7G of the Springfield nuclear power plant. He's completely unqualified, routinely asleep on the job, and has caused multiple near meltdowns. And yet, somehow, he keeps showing up. This role is the foundation of Homer's life. It pays the bills, keeps the house standing, and constantly puts the entire town at risk. It's the perfect satire of corporate incompetence, where the guy with the least awareness controls the most dangerous buttons. Snowplow Driver, Season 4, Episode 9. In a rare flash of ambition, Homer starts his own snowplowing business and becomes a local hero, until Barney upstages him with his flashier Plow King rival service. The episode blends business rivalry, friendship, and ego, and reminds us that even when Homer tries, success rarely lasts. Still, the Mr. Plow jingle remains one of the show's most unforgettable moments, proving that when Homer puts his name on something, it's going to be messy and somehow iconic. Astronaut. Deep Space Homer, Season 5, Episode 15. To boost public interest, NASA sends a regular Joe to space, and who better than Springfield's least reliable man? Homer's trip to orbit delivers floating potato chips, emergency ant disasters, and a heroic, but accidental satellite save. It's one of the show's most surreal setups and most celebrated episodes. Homer in space isn't just absurd, it's legendary. Somehow it works, and it proves that even a man who can't toast a waffle can still become a national hero by mistake. Baseball Mascot. Dancin' Homer, Season 2, Episode 5. After spontaneously dancing at a Springfield Isotopes game, Homer becomes the team's official mascot and minor league celebrity. He lives the dream. Crowds cheer, he's respected, and he's almost happy. But fame fades fast. A failed gig in Capital City sends him crashing back to reality. This was one of Homer's earliest brushes with stardom and disappointment, and it set the tone for a lifetime of almost make-its. Duffman. When Homer dons the Duffman suit, he becomes a walking, yelling symbol of toxic marketing. It's loud, shallow, and weirdly tragic. Homer pushes a product he clearly loves, but it comes at the cost of his dignity and liver. He temporarily replaces Duffman, but the job's demands, constant hype, objectification, and pretending to care, eventually wear him down. The job satirizes brand loyalty in the best way possible, by making Homer its grinning puppet. Food critic. Homer stumbles into the food critic role and immediately begins writing glowing reviews based on taste alone. When Lisa takes over the writing, things improve, until Homer gets bored and starts bashing everything in sight. The backlash? Nearly every restaurant in Springfield turns on him. It's another case of Homer trading morality for attention, and it ends, predictably, with food poisoning and chaos. Monorail conductor. Homer becomes the conductor of Springfield's newly built and highly unsafe monorail, sold to the town by a con man. It's one of the most famous episodes in Simpsons history, and Homer's role as the oblivious driver of a death trap is comedy gold. It's also a pitch-perfect satire of American infrastructure, where charisma wins over competence, and Homer holds the fate of a city while reading the manual mid-crash. Mayor of New Springfield. After a phone number dispute splits Springfield in two, Homer is elected mayor of New Springfield, the chaotic half. His campaign is pure nonsense, but somehow works. As mayor, he proves utterly inept, naturally, and brings both halves of the town to the brink of destruction. It's a quick-fire political parody, and yet another reminder that Homer plus power equals disaster. Boxer. After Moe discovers Homer can take an extraordinary amount of punishment without falling down, he becomes an unlikely boxing sensation. Opponents punch themselves into exhaustion while Homer just stands there. But when he's pitted against real boxer Drederick Tatum, things turn lethal. The fight ends with Moe airlifting Homer out of the ring, another brief career nearly ending in death. and another excuse for Homer to forget he ever tried. Bodyguard for Mayor Quimby. Homer saves Mayor Quimby from a riot and is hired as his personal bodyguard. He takes the job seriously for about 5 minutes before falling into classic Homer habits. But when he uncovers corruption involving mob boss Fat Tony, Homer actually steps up. For once, he tries to do the right thing. It's one of his rare heroic arcs, at least until he crashes the car and lets everything fall apart again. Mall Santa. With no holiday bonus and nowhere else to turn, Homer secretly becomes a mall Santa to make money for Christmas. He's humiliated, exhausted, and still comes up short, until they adopt Santa's little helper, giving the family its first real moment of joy. It's the perfect introduction to Homer. Broke, desperate, but trying his best, and it laid the groundwork for decades of struggle, sacrifice, and heart. Volunteer fireman. After a sleeping aid mix-up sidelines the local firefighters, Homer and his friends volunteer to take over, but they quickly devolve into looting burned homes, abusing their power, and nearly burning themselves down. It's firefighting the Springfield way, chaotic, selfish, and completely unethical. Naturally, they're celebrated anyway. Music manager for Lurleen Lumpkin. Homer discovers a rising country music star and becomes her manager, and nearly her lover. As Lurleen's fame grows, Homer is torn between loyalty to his wife and the fantasy of a simpler, music-filled life. It's one of the few moments where Homer seriously considers walking away from Marge, but in the end, he turns Lurleen down, goes home, and proves that deep down, he still knows what really matters. Paparazzo. After catching celebrities in compromising moments, Homer reinvents himself as a paparazzo, stalking Springfield's elite for the perfect shot. At first, he loves the fame and power, but when he targets his friends, he realizes the cost of violating people's privacy. It's one of the few times Homer actually grows from a job, though not before being tackled, sued, and shamed by everyone he knows.